Daily Broadside, day 628. You ever notice that if you take a shopping cart outside while it's raining to put all your stuff in your car, it's not that big a deal. But if you go to a store while it's raining and you get out and you get a wet shopping cart, it's very off-putting. Like, what's that all about, And you go to a restaurant and they say table or booth. Anybody that says table, I don't want to sit with them. Like, why would you not want a booth? They're more comfortable. They're a little bit more, what's the word? I guess they're a little bit more inviting. They're a little bit more entertaining when you've got multiple people with you, And it's a little more quaint. It's quaint. That's what I'm going with. It's more quaint. And I think that relatives are relative. And what do I mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean by that. I'm bothered by the fact that everybody thinks that family is so important. I don't think family is important at all. I really don't. I think you judge that on a case-by-case basis. I love my parents. My grandparents are all dead, so I don't have them. I don't talk to any of my uncles on either side, the ones that are still alive. I don't talk to the one aunt I have. Don't even know what state she lives in. I couldn't tell you what any of my cousins are doing. I have two parents. That's it. Those are the only people that really matter, because the people that put themselves into your life and you put yourself into their life, those are the people that really matter. It's kind of dumb. I got a sister. I don't even have her on my phone. When my parents die, I hope they got her number, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to tell her, hey, mom died, anything like that, because I don't know how to get in touch with her. I have no clue. But then again, I haven't felt like I have had a sister for the better part of 30 years, because we don't see eye to eye on stuff, and I just don't have any use. I don't think about her. I don't really care. It just doesn't bother me. And, oh, but that's your sister. No, it's somebody that my parents birthed just like they birthed me, and we lived together for the first 17 years of our life before I went to college. What does that matter, Then people get their own life, and they move to Montana and raise a family, and that's where their new family starts, and then those kids grow up, and then they move to Florida, and one goes to Alaska, and one goes to it just is kind of dumb. I don't see the point. The people in my life that matter are the ones that make time for me, and I make time for them. The core group of like dozen people. There's 8 to 12 people in my life that really matter to me, that aren't related to me. There's 2 people that are related to me, and then these, dozen-ish people. That's really all that matters, and that's more family to me than anybody else that's actually blood kin. I just think it's kind of dumb. So family, relatively speaking, is relative, is what I'm saying. And I'll tell you what, I've spent a lot of time in my life over the years. It's been a while, but I've spent many hours in a Baptist church, a Southern Baptist church. And if you ask me what I don't like about Southern Baptist church, I'll tell you. And it's the invitation. If you don't know what the invitation is, preacher goes up there and, does his sermon for 15 to 22 minutes, somewhere around in there. I find it odd that the sermon's always roughly about the same time. It's like a sitcom, They got that thing planned out, because it's kind of like a play. It's an act. It's a production. You go to a really big, nice church that has a lot of money to throw at, the production of everything, and they've got a nice choir, and they got a full band and all that kind of crap, and sound system. The church is like bigger than most businesses, stuff like that, which I can get into my issues with later on. But if you go to one of those, it's a production. That is a production, and, it's very polished a lot of times. So the preacher gets up there, he does his little sermon, and then there's a cue. For example, I've been to a church where when the Bible closed, when the preacher closes the Bible, that's when the choir minister, leader, director guy knew to start the soft playing of the music. And then he would start his, invitation to the audience to come to the altar and kneel before God and lay all your troubles at his feet, kind of thing, And I would sit there and watch. And here's my problem with it, right? It's kind of like the people that go out of their way to give money to people and then film it and put it on social media and whatnot. Hey, brother, I just saw you today. I just want to give you $1,000, Like, shut up, okay? Like, that's such a stupid thing. And it's all look at me. That's what it is to me when I see that. Because if I see a husband and a wife go up to the altar Everybody in the audience is thinking infidelity or erectile dysfunction. It's got to be one of the two. Everybody, that's what they're thinking. Maybe they lost a child. I don't know. Like a stillborn or something like that. But we're thinking erectile dysfunction, or we're thinking infidelity. And then people bring their whole family up there, and I'm like, why are you involving the kids in your erectile dysfunction and your infidelity? I don't get that part. The only time that I can look at an invitation type of thing where people come to the altar and kneel on the floor and pray and whatnot, when I'm okay with it, is if somebody's got like cancer or something, because I've seen that many times where some lady will go up and you're like, oh, that's Susan. She's got, terminal skin cancer or something, It's usually not terminal, but I guess you could have terminal skin cancer. And so she's up there, and then the next thing you know, there's 40 people rushing the stage, and they've all got their hands on her, and they're all praying for her and all that stuff. And that's great, whatever. I just have a problem with like the look at me type of thing. To me, I just find religion to be a much more personal thing than sitting on the floor in the front of a church because some dude told you to come up here and pray to Jesus in front of everybody when everybody behind you is judging you. It's kind of funny if you think about it, You're supposed to be in some judge-free zone and everybody's back there. Erectile dysfunction. But I don't know, man. Maybe it soothes the soul, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like it would, because a lot of the people that have all those hands laid on them still die from terminal skin cancer. I don't know where that gets you, but anyway. Y'all have a great, what is today? Today is Saturday. Have a great Saturday, Kitty.